guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to be going over part 3 to a story which I first started in November, which is titled, While in Bed, My Wife Hypothetically Asked About Open Marriage, So I Factually Demanded Divorce. And guys, like I said, the first part of this story, which did extremely well, extremely popular, first happened back in November. And then part 2 was, I believe, about a month or so ago. This is all about a guy back in the across the pond over in merry old England, whose wife was approaching the whole open marriage thing. And if you recall, she was having him watching shows on cable or whatever, streaming about open marriages and all that, dropping the hints, and eventually brought it up asking about it, and pretty much he's done. And then he finds out eventually that she was having an affair, or really into this dude that she was working at a charity with. And there's a whole big giant mess from there, and he kicked her to the curb. And he had every right to. It was a very entertaining one, backing up why you don't. The second they bring up the open marriage, open relationship, it's over because they're already cheating, or they already have their guy all ready to go to cheat. You know, and how I mentioned how women typically aren't direct like us guys, that they'll do the hints and everything. Oh, let's watch this show about this or that, or you know what I mean? And that is just as much as a guy being direct. The second part of the story, if you recall, is about how his daughter went and grilled the mother. I mean, the daughter tore her a new one. It was hilarious. Questions and all that. And the entire time, because you guys saw that video, she was making all sorts of excuses and all sorts of BS that is typical. And now here we are with part 3, where things are going on right now. And if you haven't seen those 2 videos, I'll post a link in the top of the comment section, as well as the description, so you can go back and watch part 1 and part 2. I think the first one had like 200,000 views, and the second one had close to 100,000. So it was, definitely worth your time for entertainment and learning. So he says, hi SSM. Just another update for you, as I found my ex-wife sitting on my porch after getting home from visiting my son and his family. Sunday, so a few weeks after my daughter's visit to her. So I pull into my driveway and see my ex-wife sitting on the porch, instantly thinking, what the fuck does she want? What do you think she wants? She wants a second chance. Or maybe to yell at you for turning the kids against her or some nonsense. So I get out of my car and walk towards her, with her saying, can we talk? I say, what now? I have nothing to say to you. She says, our daughter came to see me and she was so angry towards me. Yeah, our daughter's a grown-ass woman. If she wants to yell at you and be mad at you, that's her fucking business. And last time I checked, honey, your actions caused this whole shitstorm. So don't come to me. I told her all she wanted to know, and she just broke my heart saying that she is getting married and I'm not invited to her wedding. This is the mother's not invited to the daughter's wedding. I feel she hates me, and our son does not reply to any letters that I write him. Can we please go inside and talk? I said, no, here is fine with me, on the porch, pointing at the camera and saying at least any lies can be caught on camera. Very smart, my man. Don't let her in, and you got surveillance there. Good. She looks up and says, yes, the camera of doom. I said, the best investment in home security I've ever made, you mean? It does not tell lies. She says, okay then, and I can see you're still mad at me, and I understand why. I replied, yes, I will never forgive you, and your actions after listening to our daughter's recording of you explaining yourself, it's clear to me you take no responsibility at all, blaming all on Tom and as it advances. You are also to blame and show no accountability for your own actions or behavior. Right there, guys. Remember, this is over in the UK. And as I say, these things happen all over the world. Men are wired a certain way. Women are wired a certain way. It doesn't make a difference if they're over in the UK or Japan or in Egypt or in fucking Delaware. Shout out to Delaware. It doesn't make a difference. So that's why these stories are important. And she's doing the same shit. The no accountability, not accepting any blame. If you had shut down Tom's advances and sexy chat from the start, we would not be sitting on the porch and we would be sharing our daughter's wedding day as a family. But no, you blame all on Tom, yet you encouraged him by never saying no to his advances or shutting down his sexy chat. You fail to see that you are as much to blame as Tom, if not more. It's never your fault, it is. You enraged him and allowed him to kiss you passionately and said nothing. Yeah, exactly. Touching you saying nothing to me like it was normal behavior. So take some responsibility for your own actions, as it was not all Tom and you allowed it to happen. You even considered an affair at Tom's suggestion, telling you that I don't need to know. So no more excuses blaming Tom or anyone else for your own actions. You are to blame, simple as that. End of story. You know, I'm sure this guy's probably thinking the same thing. Maybe you guys are too. His interactions with her is like dealing with a fucking 6-year-old. You know? Any you parents out there, anybody's dealt with a 6-year-old? Why'd you do that? I don't know. But he did this, but she did it. No accountability. Well, that's one thing when it's a 6-year-old. That's another thing when it is a 45-year-old woman or 50-year-old woman. Anyway, enough of this bullshit. I'm fed up with it now, so what do you want? She replies in tears, Hoback Handbook Chapter 2, that I never meant for it to happen. I replied, yeah, right, but you allowed it to happen. So what do you want? She says, I want to be part of our daughter's wedding, and pleaded with me to talk to her to allow her to come to the wedding. She then says that she never even told me a date for the wedding, and I have no idea when it's going to take place or where. I've written to her several times since she came to me asking her to forgive me and let me be part of her wedding day. I replied, yes, I know, and that is our daughter's choice because she does not want you there. Right. The daughter is a grown-ass woman. She's getting married. By the way, that daughter is a tough cookie, if you all remember. And let me tell you, her husband better not fuck with her. Now, I'm not saying that the daughter should be some bossy, mannish oaf, and I don't get that impression, but the daughter doesn't take any shit. It's the daughter's decision. End of story. She burst out crying again, saying, I'm her mother, and I love her, and want to see her get married. That's irrelevant. If you're not invited, you're not invited. I said her daughter is a wonderful young woman who is full of respect and loyalty to her boyfriend. She has morals you obviously lack, and all her friends know about you and your actions. She does not want everyone sharing it with a cheater mother. Do you really think she wants to have you talking to her boyfriend's parents when they know about your cheating ways? Does it not occur to you that they might be worried that their son could be facing a similar problem in the future knowing about your actions? Anyway, that's a point. Because, you know, as the saying goes, the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree, or the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They could be thinking about that. Her actions could have jeopardized her daughter's relationship. He goes on and says, you broke not only my heart, but hers. She has instructed all her friends who are invited not to pass on any information to you. And yeah, she knows you have bumped into some of her friends asking, but she also said if any friends do anything to you, they're no longer her friends. Our daughter, or if they say anything to her, they're no longer her friends. Our daughter feels that you could have harmed her own reputation to her boyfriend's family, so stop thinking about yourself all the time. If our daughter does not want you there, it's her choice. Amen. How well do you think that's going to go with the ex-wife? So the ex-wife sits there bawling her eyes out saying, I don't deserve this. You brought this on yourself, ex-wife. I replied, it's all you're doing. You know as well as I do, we brought them, the kids up with morals and respect, and all that you warned our daughter about in her teenage years, about being careful with boys, saying they would say anything to get in our daughter's knickers. You know, you're the UK with the knickers. And don't be fooled by what they say. Shame you didn't heed your own advice years later, huh? She looked up at me and said, I'm truly sorry. I said, perhaps you should have said that to our daughter instead of blaming Tom for everything. You could have said no at any time, but you did not. You say you don't deserve this, and you do believe me, you truly do. So, here's the thing. Yes, she did what she did. Now, if she truly owned up to everything and said, it's my fault, I should have known better. If she took accountability for her actions instead of blaming everybody else for what she did, except for herself, maybe this guy and the daughter in time would forgive her and she'd be going to the wedding. But instead, she's bawling her eyes out and blaming everybody under the sun and woe is me. And so she's not going to get anywhere with that. I'm not saying if she took accountability, the guy would ever take her back. He shouldn't. But there could be healing. But no. She just keeps, shooting herself in the foot here in this situation. He says, you have to own up to the part you played in breaking up this family, so I will not interfere in our daughter's wedding to please you. I know she's playing it mostly with her boyfriend's mother and our son's wife, and they have a great relationship together, so what can I possibly say to our daughter for her to ask her own mother, who she no longer trusts or holds respect for, to be part of her wedding? End of story. The problem is he's speaking logic and she's an emotional wreck, but caused by her own actions. I'm sorry to say, Steph, as her father, I will not pressure her in any way to allow you to be at her wedding. Also remember, our son and his family will not attend if you are there. He was your mummy's boy all his life. You were at his wedding, saying how proud you were he found a lovely girl to marry. After all your warning about women to him before he met his current wife and Mary, saying make sure you marry an honest, loving girl. Double standards or what, huh? Perhaps your actions even worry our son now. Maybe he thinks his loving wife could also turn into a cheater like you. Anyway, you sat in our garden talking to his wife about her pregnancy in our last 3 months, offering advice, while at the charity shop having an S-word desire for another man. How do you think our son's wife views you now? Do you think she has any respect for anything you have said to her now after seeing the video and listening to our daughter's recording of you? Imagine if that was our son's wife having that conversation with Tom. You would have been spitting fire at her. Plus, they have a wonderful baby daughter now, who is our son's angel and loves with all his heart. It is amazing how one action can just a seemingly amazing life and family. I've tried to get him to talk to you, but he says no way. Plus, our daughter wants him at her wedding, and he is her brother, and she really gets on really well with his wife, and she has helped with her wedding plans. So please show some respect to her daughter and allow her day to be a happy one with no drama and bad feelings. Yes, that's the greatest gift the mother could do for the daughter. Let her go. Give her the space. If she needs to have one more thing to say to the daughter, she can write her a letter, only if the letter is, I'm sorry, and truly taking accountability for her actions, and actually mean it, and get it, and let her go, and see what happens. It is her day, daughter's wedding, not yours, so respect her wishes, and remember your own choices in getting in this position. Taking accountability for your own actions, and maybe expressing this might give you a path to have a relationship with her daughter in the future. All this time she is crying and bawling, saying sorry over and over again. Yes, I mean, what'd I say? If she actually gets where she fucked up and has accountability and then gives the daughter space, maybe one day the daughter can forgive her. That's what I said. So she looks at me again and says, you know I love you. I said, Steph, if that were true, you would never got involved with Tom in any way. The thing is, I can't believe anything you say as you lied to me. You couldn't even own up to your own feelings or actions with our daughter. I stupidly thought you might be hiding an illness from me at that time, and I was genuinely worried about you. I said before, I don't believe your words. They mean nothing to me, so please stop saying you love me. Well, she is an emotional mess, and the only thing she can keep coming out is, I love you, I'm sorry. Well, your actions, it's all about actions, have not shown me that you love me very much. And your actions don't show me you're sorry because you keep blaming everybody else except you for what you did. I'm not buying it, and our kids aren't buying it. She then says, it's true. I wish you would believe me, still crying, and then says, why are you moving away to Cornwall to be far away from me as possible, I suppose? Such a long way to go with no one, there. I said that I don't want to live here anymore, and I will make new friends. It was always something that we wanted to do once our children had their own lives to live. We talked about this after my retirement, and at that time you said that you would like to spend many holidays there as a family. I never thought I'd be moving there on my own, though, but hey, you're doing, not mine. Plus, I want to start to enjoy my single life away from this house, from the memory this house holds for me. Yeah, you guys, if you recall in the other stories, this guy is putting up the family homestead for sale, and he's moving away, different part of the country, for some peace and quiet to start over. And I thought that was a very good idea because the house he's in now has all the memories and everything like that. It's time for a change. Every time I arrive home and pull into the driveway, it's memories of a once happy life that hits me like a train. So I'm moving on, and so should you. We can't change the past. It is written in our memory forever. I will never forget our happy years. They are part of my life, but I need to move on, and so do you. The other day I was thinking of our parents, both happily married until they passed away. Devoted to each other, both sets of parents, something to be proud of. I'm so pleased I never got to see us right now, as it would break their hearts. Oh God, you're going to send her even a bigger meltdown now. Yeah, thank God that your parents and her parents, they didn't see this mess. She was still crying, saying sorry, but I said, sorry, it's too late, and please go home and move on. Please respect her daughter's wishes for her wedding. She is so happy about it. Don't spoil her happy day, because if you do, she'll never speak to you again. Respect your wishes, please. Yes. If there is any chance that she can reconcile with the daughter and the son, as if the wife truly understands that it was her actions that caused this mess, is truly sorry, and will then respect her wishes and back away. And then those children may reach out to her. It could take a year, 5 years, 10 years, or never. That's the only way. But if she keeps pushing and pushing and shows up at that wedding, there ain't no going back from that. In tears, of course, she stands up, looks me all ready-eyed, and says, I will never forget you and what I did to you and my family and all my own doing, and I'm so sorry for my actions. Please forgive me, and walks away in tears. Okay, now please go the fuck away. The emotions I felt sitting back down the porch, watching her walk away, heartfelt anguish. But it was not my doing, it was all hers. I did not deserve the way she treated me at the time, so I went inside, grabbed a beer, and said hello to my faithful boxer dog, who greeted me with love. Yeah, gotta love the dogs. You gotta love the dogs, you gotta love the cats, the ones that will love you unconditionally. Well, you better feed your cat and change the litter box. But aside from that, they will love you unconditionally. At least mine are. And of course, yeah, you earned a beer after this. You earned 2 beers, whole fucking 6-pack. I've called my daughter and told her mother visited me. My daughter said, Dad, I gave her a chance to be honest, and she blamed Tom for everything, not accepting responsibility on her part, and she is not welcome at my wedding. Simple as that. She said, I have nothing more to say to her. She knows how I feel. I made it very clear to her that day. So, Dad, you be happy. You did nothing wrong, and I'm very proud to have you as my father, walking me down the aisle on my wedding day. Great. Thank you for everything, Dad. I love you so much. And that was the end of our phone call. Well, that's great she said that. Your daughter's really cool. So there you go, SSM. Another small update after my daughter's visit to her mother. I don't think there'll be any more now, but I might update if there is any more drama at my daughter's wedding. But that is not until early summer. Take care, SSM. Great channel. And yes, I bought too many flowers. LOL slap. Oh yeah. I think he mentioned back in the day he was always buying his wife flowers and all that, and well, look where that led. I'm not saying him buying her lots of flowers made her cheat, but the guys that bombard their wives or girlfriends and gifts all the time and certainty and all that stuff, treat them the pedestal treatment. Sadly, a lot of times this happens. But anyhow, I truly hope that the wedding goes very well. I hope she doesn't show up and cause problems. I hope it's a good time. I hope you have a good cake. I can't imagine you there dancing the Macarena or anything, but have a good time, and focus. Take it one day at a time, like I said. That's all you can do. I think it's a good idea. You're selling the house and you're moving off to the country where you always wanted to go, you and your dog, and you take it one day at a time. I highly recommend you exercise. At the very least, just walking your dog every day. You're moving, and start doing a lot of the things maybe you wanted to do but never had time for to do. The hobbies and interests, traveling, whatever. And you got a grandchild now, I believe you said it's a granddaughter, and this next stage in your life. But I really do hope there isn't any more drama with your now ex or soon to be ex. Something tells me, given how human beings are and her state of emotions, that she'll be back and there'll be more. So if fireworks happen and you feel it's helpful and helps you heal by writing it out, letting me and letting the community know here, and we can all learn something from this, definitely write down your own pace, your own time. But I'm at fingers crossed. Then we don't have to hear from you again. Honestly, I would like, if I hear from you again, I'd like to hear from you down the road, letting me know that things are really going well now. That the wife finally backed away, and your daughter's wedding went well, and you're doing better. I want to hear that, because us guys, we need to hear success stories, particularly after a disaster story, that you're doing better, because there's a lot of guys out there just like you. Right now, they're watching this, and it's all over the world. They may be going through a divorce, something just like you. And so to hear that you, in time, have healed, you're doing better, that will give them hope. That will give them the strength to carry on another day when all they want to do is not wake up. And believe me, there's a lot of guys out there that just after so much hardship and betrayal, they don't want to get up in the morning. They don't want to wake up. And we can't have that. We got to get out of bed, guys, and we got to move on. For ourselves, for our other loved ones that are dependent on us, we got to do it. So a success story and a guy turning it around and moving past all the hardships, that's what heroes are. And you are a hero, and you're going to be a hero to your kids and all that, and a hero to others for what you dealt with and how you handled it and all that. We all need that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.